seems that I'm just cursed with bad luck with this car, because I have developed some new problems, and one of them is actually quite interesting. I'll show you why. Aside from that reduced engine performance light, the second problem is to do with the exhaust, and I'm pretty sure this problem is going to be really, really expensive to fix, but it's something I've got to do. As you can probably tell, the car has basically straight piped itself, and that is going to be a very expensive fix because I might as well upgrade it while I'm there. So my neighbors don't hate me quite so much. But before we even think about looking at the exhaust, there's another problem I need to fix with that reduced engine performance light, and I think our answer to that is under the bonnet, and it should be quite an easy fix, or at least I'm hoping it will be. I think this would probably explain why I'm getting no boost. So let's fix that. Why do these things always just happen to me? Why is this so difficult? Oh. Okay, we're on. I'm gonna crank this down until it's just about to burst, because I've had to tighten this up like 3 times since I last took it off, so I don't know why that's happening. Right, so that is all torqued back up. I've given it the Ugga Dugga spec with my hands, obviously, and now the car is ready to be jacked up, so we're going to see what's what with the exhaust. I was hoping I'd be able to get away with just tightening some of the bolts back up, or using some exhaust paste to stick things back together, but that is completely gone. I can't even see where those bolts are on either side. They've just completely rusted through and fallen off. That exhaust hanger is also completely gone, so I'm gonna have to find a way of putting this back together, which I have no idea how I'm gonna do, because the cap there, those holes are absolutely destroyed. Don't know if you can see that, so we're gonna have to figure something out. For now, we're gonna shelve the exhaust problem. We've already fixed the reduced engine performance light for now, but there is something on this side of the car behind this wheel that I do need to fix as well, and it's one of the reasons why this car won't pass an MOT too. So let's do that now. You're probably thinking it's a serious fault, but actually it's pretty straightforward, I'm hoping. Also, no more having to drive the car up onto bricks. I have got myself a nice low profile jack. It is a godsend, honestly. You will be able to see that something here is missing. We should actually have one of these stuck over here somewhere, like that. Unfortunately, when I was doing this drive shaft, I actually did break this and it won't go back on. And the reason I'm actually having to replace it is because the car has been lowered on lowering springs, so that little bar there is actually too long. Now, I've had a look online, and to replace these units is ridiculously expensive, so I'm going to try and do it cheaper than that. And actually, in order to do that, I have bought this. Looks kind of simple, but actually it's quite clever. This little bit of kit means I can actually adjust the length of this. Because I have a lowered car, it means that my headlights will actually be in level, and I won't have to mess around with, you know, trying to cut bits out of that old one and stick them back together. And this was only £20 as opposed to, I don't know, 100 something for the brand new unit. So that is some money saved. That wasn't easy. I had to take this whole bracket out, and then actually these just started spinning, so I had to use an impact over here and these pliers on the other end, and actually just hold the other end while I impacted them out. But the new one should go in a lot easier because it is, well, a new part. Right, this should be pretty simple, he says. So you join me under the car for problem number 2, and you will be able to see quite clearly I'm basically running an open downpipe here. That side of the cat has basically chewed itself off. That side is not much better. I don't want to have to replace the cat because that's expensive. And these threads, you can't really see them on camera, they're basically non-existent. So what I'm planning to do is take this mid section off, drill these out, put new bolts in, and come up with some kind of repair there, and also maybe some kind of repair over here. We'll take this off, or at least try to, because it goes all the way back there and then over that axle, which is going to be fun to get out. But we're going to try and get this off and see what we can do. So the plan is to get these studs out somehow. I'm hoping with a bit of persuasion from a hammer I will be able to get them out. Unfortunately, I can't get the rest of this this mid pipe off because it actually goes up above the subframe and then into the back box all the way at the bottom there, and it's literally impossible to get out. But I managed to get it this far down, so I'm hoping I'll be able to get a good few whacks of a hammer on it. As for our other problem over there, I'm going to have to think about what I want to do there to fix that, because I cannot run it like that, which is unfortunate because I don't want to have to replace the cat. It's just too expensive and I do not have the money for that. So you will have seen that I have taken a fair few whacks at the hammer, at both of these studs over here, and they are not budging, as I kind of suspected they wouldn't. So we're going to have to try heating them up and try again. Let's see how that goes. Unfortunately, as much as I try, as much heat as I apply, as much as I do anything, those bolts will just not come out. So it's time for plan B, and that's to bring out the big guns. While we were drilling, we did have a few casualties, a few broken drill bits, but we have got our holes drilled and I have got some hardware. I know what you're going to say, these M6 bolts are really not thick enough, but I do plan on actually changing the entire exhaust system at some point, but for now, that is going to have to do. Let's get it on. Okay, we are now in. I know what a lot of you are going to say. No, that's not substantial, it's just going to come back off. And yes, I'm fully aware that it probably is, but for now that should be enough. Even if it holds for 2 or 3 months, it'll give me enough time to save up for a new cat, a new downpipe up there, and then a full catback exhaust to make the sound like it should have when it comes out of the factory. But for now, I think that will do. If you live in England and you think it's a wise idea to work on your own cars, here's a word of advice. Don't. This weather is literally the worst thing ever, and it's 95% of the year. But we're done, so we're going to get the car on the ground and see if I've fixed that exhaust leak properly. I'm hoping, I mean, I don't have a lot of hope, but I hope it's a lot better than it was, because it was terrible. We have done our cheap fix. Let's see if it's actually made a difference. Moment of truth. 3, 2, 1. That is so much better. I can actually hear myself think now. As you can probably tell by the smile on my face, I'm so happy with the way that this car now feels and drives. Honestly, fixing that exhaust leak was the best thing I could have done. Forget all the modifications, forget everything else. This car feels like it was supposed to feel like it when it came out the factory, if that makes sense. I do have a few other problems, like, you know, now that I can actually hear all the knocks and bangs, there are a few other things that are kind of going on. But for now, we've fixed it, and I'm actually really, really happy with it. If you'd like to see the fixes that I now have to do, make sure you're subscribed and like the video. Thanks for watching.